Hey, aloha, this is Harry from Kailua. I'm going to explain an earlier video I did called Dimensions of a Scale. And so this will require a close-up, and I'll explain to you things that you can't learn from a book. All right? Okay, so today what I'm going to do is explain to you what happened on the earlier video called Dimensions of a Scale, where I played different chords and it made this scale, the minor pentatonic, sound different. So, A minor pentatonic, as you know it, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, is actually another scale. If I use the same 5 notes, but I make the C the most important, so I'm going to start on C and end on C. You're going to recognize this sound from the Temptation song, My Girl. So this is actually 2 different scales in one. It's the same 5 notes. So in musical terminology, you hear musicians call this relative to each other. So they're relative because they're the same 5 notes. If I make A the center of attention, so I'll use the same rhythm as My Girl. So right now I'm playing A to A. It sounds like Born Under a Bad Sign as an example. So right now it's a minor scale. But if I not make the A, I'm still going to play the A, but if I focus on the C and end on C, now it's called the major pentatonic. It's still a 5-note scale. Okay, so it's actually 2 scales in one. Okay, so to explain this, I'm going to use the 12-bar blues, where in that earlier video I was playing 4 measures of A, 2 measures of D, 2 measures of A, 1 measure of E, 1 measure of D, 1 measure of A, 1 measure of E. There's a total of 12. Okay. First, I'm going to start off with minor. So I'm going to use A minor, D minor, and we can use E minor. Okay, watch this. What I'll do is I'll play like this. I'm going to replace the first note with the chord. So that's a great exercise. All I did was replace the first note with the chord. So I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that way you can hear lead and rhythm at the same time. Okay, it sounds sad like B.B. King's The Thrill Is Gone, is because you're playing a minor scale which has the C note, and the chord also has a C note. So you're playing a minor scale on a minor chord. So it sounds traditional. Okay, now if I change it to A major, D major, and E major, notice that it doesn't sound as sad. So I'll do the same scale. I'll replace the first note with the major chords. And this is what it would sound like. But on the earlier video, I did it with A7 and D7 and E7. Well, A7, D7, and E7 are actually major chords. So I'll do it that way now. Sounds a little more bluesier. Notice it doesn't sound as sad. It's like Hound Dog, Kansas City. So what's happening here is you're playing a minor scale still that has this note, but you're playing it with a chord that has this note. So these 2 notes are rubbing on each other. So when you force a minor scale on top of a major chord, it causes what I call the blues effect. That's one of the reasons I feel that blues sound the way it does. So minor scales have 2 functions. If you play minor on a minor chord, sounds sad and traditional. But if you play it on a major, it has that blues effect because these 2 notes are rubbing on each other. Okay. Now, if I change the background to, instead of A, D, and E, I'm going to use 4 C's, 2 F's, 2 C's, a G, an F, a C, and G, and see what happens. So remember I said this is also called C major pentatonic. So I'm going to replace the C, the first note, with the chord, and I'll just start from the second note, and this is what it'll sound like. Notice it sounds country. It's the same 5 notes. So what's being played in the background can change what the scale sounds like, because it's not the scale that's making the thing. So watch this. You can mix it up in any order, like. But if I change it to E7 and not A, now it sounds got that Kansas City flavor. But if I use A minor, now it sounds sad again. So what is being played in the background, it basically changes what the scale sounds like. So what you learned today is that A minor pentatonic is relative to C major pentatonic. Okay, so now we have minor and major pentatonic at the same time. So learning the 5 boxes now becomes even more important because you're actually learning 2 scales at one time. So check back and I'll show you other ways to approach it. Okay, aloha.